Here it is, boys. The moment we've all been waiting for. Mostly me, but I guess all of us at the same time. I'm not sure how many of you guys have already managed to finish your Railjack, but mine should be finished in about 3 or so minutes. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's go ahead and have a look. Now, it's not 6, it's 24 seconds. Okay, well, if you guys are wondering how I did all the coloring here, I'll get to that in a bit, because this quest is about to start. Console pleb here. Oof. Imagine not having ad block. Alright, any second now. Okay, it's finalizing repairs. We must just wait for it to update. Yes? No? Inbox? Okay, I'm gonna refresh it then. Let's go back to the ship. Hello, hello. How many bits did I have to collect? For what? For all the parts? There were quite a lot of bits that are needed. It should literally just bug out and start all over again. Or, to make things even better, I just delete the room now. That'll take 2 hours, and then in 2 hours from now I'll just rebuild the room. And I guess we could wait like the full construction time for that as well. How many sections of the Railjack did I have to collect? 6. There are 6 parts.
You have a Railjack. Tenno, all records of my mission have been purged from the weave. Why, I do not know. I had a crew. I must accept sole responsibility for their deaths. Conclusion, I am non-viable. But I am the only Railjack-compatible Cephalon. The sentients have almost rebuilt. Conclusion, I am, under the circumstances, a viable command Cephalon. If you will have me.
Alright, so the red Dorito is going to be our new Cephalon. Sorry, Ordis. But the least viable Cephalon is the most viable. Oh, apparently I must come back here.
Understood. I will begin the process of integrating myself with the ship's systems. This may take some time. Commencing.
How much time?
You may now enter your Railjack.
That was a troll. That was literally a troll. This may take some time. I know DE put that in there as a troll. I was literally expecting like another 1 hour wait. Or, well, not 12. It couldn't have been 12 because people were already done, but I just heard that and I was like, nah. Good meme. You got me. Alright, so this means that we should be able to enter it. Ah. Why do we always get emotionally damaged Cephalons? Because all Cephalons are damaged. I think the only one is, I forget its name. I think it starts with a P. It's the Riven Cephalon. He's the only one who's perfectly fine. At least, from what we know.
Welcome to the Railjack. A living thing. A home. And a weapon. Your home. Your weapon. Aboard this vessel, we work before we play.
Alrighty. The 72-hour wait is finally done, and we are inside. And it seems all the rooms are going to be working. So this is where we pilot it.
System integration ongoing. You will be informed when process complete.
Alright. So, we're pretty much done here. And I don't mean like, I'm done with the stream. No. That's just beginning. But like, we finally finished the Railjack, and this is the first phase of Railjack as a whole. So, once you've finished building your Railjack, we're pretty much going to be waiting another week or two, I'd assume, to get our next phase, which is going to be taking flight. Which means we'll get to do all of the different Railjack missions that have been shown to us in dev streams before. And I do believe soon after that we'll be getting the final phase, which is, I think, discover something new or something along those lines. Discover the truth. I don't know. And I'd assume that is for the whole sentient expansion. This is another 15-minute stream? Not likely, no.
Tenno on deck.
Oh, that's cool. This is... Oh, no, we do not want to exit. I wonder if we'll be able to interact here later. Another exit. There's another one over there.
Crew, a color you have never seen. Imagine it. That is where you are.
The Reliquary Drive. What is this thing?
Paradox. You behold an absence. Describe it.
It looks like a derelict key can fit in there.
Attempting to perceive. Cognition algorithms fail to prove a negative. Something touches me. Impossible. Crew. A color you have never seen. Imagine it. That is where you are.
Alright, I'm interested in this. What does reliquary even mean? That just means it's really old, right? That's the most interesting part so far. I think that might end up being quest related. And these are just more exits. It means individual. Individual drive. And this should be our arsenal, which we can't interact with yet. And it looks very much like the old one that we used to have. And that's because it is. So apparently, in the upcoming updates, we'll basically get to choose whether or not we would prefer to have the Railjack as our main vessel instead of just our normal orbiter. So you could make this your main home, like Cephalon Sai said, this is your home. I even have a little sentinel here, but not mine. Nidus Prime in that pod. But yeah, this is pretty epic. Now, I don't believe we will be getting the Take Flight update this week. I think the soonest we can expect it is maybe 2 weeks from now. I've watched some other streamers and they have said that they'd expect it even as soon as this week. But, like, that's a bit soon. So there's still the whole lower deck here that we need to explore. What the hell is this? And there is more exits. So there's at least 5 exits here. Another one of those marks. Maybe to repair or make installations or upgrades. Another exit. Isn't that the reliquary pod? And it shows there's 4 and 1 seems to be highlighted, so we've got 1 active. The update was an excuse for extra time? Well, this wasn't exactly just an update for extra time, because if they dropped this with the whole Empyrean expansion, it would have been a massive outrage because everyone would have had like a 72-hour minimum time gate. There's actually another hour on top of that for researching the Cephalon, and then all the human time in between. Not to mention that most people are still rearranging their dojos just to fit the entire dry dock in it. People would be stuck for a whole week whilst other people would be able to do the content first. So we're basically getting a head start by being able to build our Railjack now rather than later when the update comes out. So this is like the perfect time to build your Railjack if you haven't already. Now, you don't have to build your own Railjack. If you don't have the resources, you don't necessarily have to worry about it, because you will be able to join other people who already have Railjacks. So if you already have a friend who has built it, or a clan member, you can just join on them and do all the Railjack missions there. But I think maybe the one thing that you will need your Railjack for would be the new war. It's just speculating, I can't confirm that, but it would make sense that you would need that. This is just a very large door over here, and this can have a very nice view when we're out in space. I honestly can't wait just to get out there. Ooh. Compact resource. So this is where you can collect resources in space, and then you can compact them for storage. And there's like a lower deck down here. I wonder if I can go even lower down. No, I'm not allowed to. Okay, so I think I see how that works. We'll collect resources and then you'll have to send someone down here to compact it and then store it in the lower area. So we've got like a limited amount of space for how many resources we can carry with the Railjack, and I am assuming we're gonna have a whole new set of resources yet again when Railjack actually releases. So you'd collect some, they'd load down here, and then you'd need to send them into compact. I guess it's just like another manual way. This is another way to like improve the immersion of it all. And give you another tour of the Railjack? Sure. I'll go from the front all the way down here again. And then I'll go out and then I'll quickly show you guys how you can change the colors of the Railjack already. I'm not sure if it's already changing most of the colors. Like it's already got the white and blue that I added, but I'm not noticing many of the black. Alright, so this is the front. Over here, this is like the big gun, which you'll be able to get into. Make some massive explosions, blow up other frigates. And this is where you will... This is like the helm, where you can navigate the whole ship. This is navigation, which is not available yet.
Ongoing. You will be informed when process complete.
And then this is just the like arsenal area. Customize your character. This is just to exit the Railjack. There's I think 6 exits that I counted. This is just a viewing area. And there's an upper segment over here. Ooh, I missed that room over there. I think this is mostly just like for leisure or luxury. Just come chill up here whilst you're just gliding through space. And then I missed a room over here. Does that go up? I broke the game, guys. Can I go back up through that? Well, you can clip through that wall. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this implies, because you can go up here, and that leads into this whole tube section. I think, you know what this should be? You should be able to, like, if you've played Sea of Thieves, this is where you lock your teammates, lock your friends over here. And if they're misbehaving, you'll just have a control, like, maybe over here. And then you just yeet them up and out, like, as you're flying. This will just shoot them up, and then they just get swung straight out the back. Eject them into space. It's the Arcwing Slingshot. You're actually right there. But, wouldn't it be cool if you could also just yeet your teammates? Now it's changed my Railjack colors back to default. I wonder if there's now a new way... Oh, I'm not supposed to be outside the Railjack. I just noticed all the icons are missing. I'm technically still inside the Railjack according to the game, so let's just enter the Railjack from inside the Railjack, technically. But yeah, I remember. It's that Arcwing launcher where you can just shoot yourself a lot further. So it would be cool, at the same time, if you could just lock your teammates here and just flush them out the side. So yeah, that's one of the rooms I missed. I don't think I missed any other rooms, but I shall continue just having a look around for those of you who want me to. Now there's this thing over here, which is humming. I'm assuming it's just like the battery or just a normal engine part. But chances are we might have to repair that. That's something that can likely be damaged. And over here is more things you'll be able to interact with, which I have no idea what they'd be yet. The slingshot was in that upstairs area, like a small door on either side. That's just another exit. And then we're in the cargo bay, where we can send a whole bunch of resources further down. This is pretty exciting. And I wonder if we'll actually be able to open this door and then transport, like physically transport cargo in here. Kind of like in Star Citizen. That'd also be pretty cool. This is the way to the front. Yeah. So now I need to exit, and I want to show you guys how you can customize your Railjack so far. Oh no, now the colors are reset. Okay. Well, let's see if it still works. Decorations, polychrome room. This is what worked before. Change colors. It does not affect it anymore. Feels bad, man. Maybe there's a customizing panel somewhere. But if you're still building your Railjack, if you customize the colors of the entire area here, your entire dry dock, it does affect the colors of your Railjack when you're constructing it. And if you want to see what that looked like, you'd have to look at the very beginning of the stream, because it changed as soon as I entered the Railjack. I don't think there's any other panels here. Wait, hang on. There's the main panel. No, can't interact with that one. And then there's this gear panel here, which I also cannot interact with. There's also no new research. Second panel on the right. Maybe I need to refresh my dojo. It's possible. Is there a clan member up there? Just hiding? Someone's here. That's apparently one level lower. Maybe they're inside their own Railjack. I don't know. Only admins can change the color? Yeah. If you have the ability to change the color of your dojo, then you can change the color of your Railjack. But it would probably change the color for everyone building their own personal Railjack. At least I'd assume that'd be how it works. But if you... yeah, if you just want to see what it looks like, there is DVR on, so you can go back to the beginning of the stream and then you'll see it was a black, white, and blue design. And you guys should be able to do that until this. So I'm gonna restart over here and then go back into the clan dojo and see if maybe those panels work, because I did kind of break everything by jumping outside of the Railjack.
Report tools down. Railjack structure complete. Structure reinforcement complete. Systems restoration complete. Your presence is required on the dry dock.
That's a little late. I was there. But we're going back. Why don't I press escape and then go to equipment? I'll give that a shot. Alright, can't interact with this panel. And then this panel has nothing to research at the moment. And this panel does not work yet. Well, it seems we can't really customize it after you've built it, at least yet.
Tenno on deck.
Okay. Give it a shot, maybe, maybe. Okay. It tries to work, but it doesn't. Well, we don't necessarily have to change it from the inside, but maybe. Maybe there's an option here. No, just fast travel. And then normal equipment stuff. And there's nothing that I saw that I can interact with. There's navigation, but he says that's ongoing. And everything else they were just exits. And these are the side turrets, another one over there. I didn't see any customizing panels anywhere on the inside. What's the blue thing on my second deck that looks like a cryopod? I honestly have no idea. But whenever I interact with it...
Crew, a color you have never seen. Imagine it. That is where you are. Tenno on deck.
It's just indistinguishable whispers that I can hear. The Nidus Prime Vault. Is it just me, or is something on the inside knocking the glass? Or is it just every time I look away, he knocks it? It's not me walking around. Yeah, there's something inside here knocking on the glass. So it's not empty. It says it's vacant, but it's not. You'd have to turn your volume up. There we go. The man in the wall? Well, the man in the wall doesn't really do things like that. But I did think maybe. But at the same time, why would the man in the wall just be chilling inside there? Without a conclusion to the prank. Well, I guess the Janus key can fit in here, but any void key would be able to fit. Any derelict key. And there seems... I don't know if that gold texture is meant to be textured like that. But yeah. Pretty interesting. Then there is the whole adult operator part, which is the Deviri paradox, and this could be related. it could maybe be that the Deveri paradox is the find answers part of Railjack. Because that hasn't really been confirmed whether or not it's going to be the new war or Deveri paradox. So that will be quite interesting to keep in mind. Oh no, that's a car outside. I was like, what's that noise? Alright, so just once more, we shall break this. So that's the whole interior. And there's nothing that we can research yet. I was kind of expecting maybe like some parts we could research in the meantime. But I guess that's all going to come on the next phase. And there is no information yet about what resources are going to be needed for that. But yeah, pretty interesting so far. You could hear the bike. Well, I guess because if I could hear it, then everyone should have been able to. Can you place personal decorations in the Railjack? Not yet, but we will be able to. When I went into options over there, there wasn't any customizing or place decoration options available. You'd be pissed if you got a scratch on it after all that RNG. This thing is gonna get a lot more than scratched in the battles that it will be partaking in. Well, considering that it's now back to its default colors, which is a little bit sad, I guess I can just change my dojo colors back to normal. Unless maybe, just maybe. No, it doesn't affect it. Get some white back in here. I guess that's fine. Fund construction. Contribute all. And then rush. For an exceedingly high price of 1 platinum. The orbiter should attach to the Railjack. I'm fairly certain that the orbiter is larger than the Railjack, so it shouldn't attach. Unless you mean like the Lasette. If you mean that, then it definitely will. As far as I remember, it can attach somewhere. Unless I'm wrong, and I'm thinking of something else. But the orbiter is way too large. I think that's significantly larger than the ship. We've never actually seen the scale of it. Like, we've never been able to measure its scale. I think maybe on the wiki you'll be able to see that. But otherwise, definitely not going to be linked. You meant Lasette, yeah. It doesn't feel larger than the Railjack because we have a very small, like, compartment area that we can navigate in. But maybe I can show you guys the concept art and then show you the actual scale. Let me try to bring that up. I should have it over here. Oh, there's too much silence. Okay, let's bring up that picture. There we go. full screen this. Oh wait, hang on. Wrong capture. So this is the orbiter. And you can see the Lisette down at the bottom over there. Yeah, my mouse is on screen. So they're similar in size, I guess. Maybe the Railjack might be a little bit longer, just because of that tail segment. Yeah, the Lisette connects at the bottom of it, and then, if you remember, like, in every single mission you go into, in Warframe, it always, like, does a spin. You spin out in your, like, upright position or whatever it is. It spins you out, but it also spins you into your orbiter. You use that magnetic connection thing. I don't know the fancy words that are used for it because I haven't done research on that. Did they change the way the orbiter looks? Yeah, they have. It's just the main section. And I am kind of waiting for an update for that because I can't have my personal decorations placed how I would like them. Hey Bailey, good morning. So if you haven't already seen, this is the new update for the interior of your orbiter. Yeah, and it's only this area that has been changed. So all my paintings have been shifted. These were like on the wall, but they've been shifted. And if you look over here, this was normally connected to the ground and it's now hovering in the air. That is the lowest I can place a decoration. If I put it any lower than... No, you just can't put it lower. But if it's like the gallium over here, and I want to try to place it lower, I can't. It's kind of like dojo restrictions, but worse. So if I try decorate, and I hold it over here, it's going to show red. If it's red, I can't place it. So I can't put it any lower. So I have to kind of have it hovering in the air at the moment. So while this does look better and it's a lot more spacious, I'm kind of going to have to wait a little bit. Everyone's going to have to wait, especially the people who have put more than 100, or actually more than 200 hours into this whole area over here alone just for their own decorations. Because everything they've placed perfectly well to like frame every single segment, and now everything is shifted and nothing is good. Like my paintings over here are in the wall. This little thing over here, this base, or that's not the word for it, I forget its name. This was inside the void relic thing, and you can see it's not actually touching the ground because that's as low as it can go. So the devs are they're gonna have to like adjust the boundaries for that. So while it is better, it is also worse simultaneously. So we just gotta wait. You always believed the orbiter was the landing craft, just some scale issues going on. I'm sure everyone thought that. I did too for quite some time until I saw concept art for it. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So, if you remember what I showed you with the concept art, we're actually upside down right now. Unless we're the right side up, and the entire orbiter is the wrong way around. Which wouldn't make sense, because why would the orbiter be upside down with everything being upright? But it is. Wait, hang on, this is really confusing. This is actually extremely confusing. I actually need to see this picture now. So, yeah, it's showing over there. It is space, don't ask. It's, if you're in space, up, it's always up. Any direction is up. Whatever direction you're pointing is up. But, in terms of the orbiter over here, the lasette over here is upside down. And then it spins you in to be the right side up. To connect you inside. No, but that's into the lasette itself. My brain. So basically, this whole thing is actually supposed to just be upside down. Yeah. It doesn't connect at the bottom. It's the tiny thing at the very front top. It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. My lord. It's actually been that long. I'm a moron, guys. I'm a moron. I literally knew this, and it has been so long that I thought it was the thing here at the bottom. But this small thing that I'm moving my mouse around, that is the lasette. Thanks for reminding me. That's the lasette. That's why I got a little bit confused here with the scale, because I could remember that this thing used to be way larger, and then I was like, hang on, it might actually be smaller than the Railjack. And there's like clashing thoughts over there. But that small thing there is the lasette. That's why my brain is getting destroyed. You can't see it? Oh my lord. Yikes. Okay. So, here, I'm moving my mouse around it. That is the entire lasette over there. There was a video that was released in the past, I think on one of the very old dev streams, where there was an animation of the lasette docking into the entire orbiter. And you could see the lasette physically docking in here. Now the devs wanted to put that into the game, but I think they just never really had reason to. It was just another animation that would have got boring, or you just would want to skip it anyways. But maybe they'll still add it, you never know. But they were working on that a very long time ago. Yeah, it doesn't spin you into the orbiter. It would if it was at the bottom. My brain was just getting absolutely fried there because it's been that long. And then I just went ahead and confused everyone, including myself. But yeah, it is massive. I probably even have the video of the animation, but it would take me forever to find that because I've got like 700 Warframe videos and I don't have it titled. And it's probably inside an entire stream that I just recorded all at once or downloaded or whatever. So, no way I'll find that. They said they want to remove the loading screens and have flying in between locations. Yeah, that is where it would fit. And they do intend to replace basically every loading screen in the game, besides the initial load up, of course. But everything will just be animations where you can walk around inside whilst it's flying. Got the wrong capture here. There we go. So there will no longer be those loading screens where you can just move the ship around. Up, down, left, right. You'll actually be able to walk around inside your Railjack or maybe even your Lisette. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll just be flying animations for that, but not the up, down, left, right. It'll actually be a kind of like a cinematic, if that makes sense. So all this time we just don't know what's in the rest of the entire ship? Yeah. Just a lot of engines mainly. But there is more, because the ship is, like, alive. Because of the infested room. The ship is living. So maybe there's a massive whole segment of an infested mass inside the ship. And this is something that people have been speculating and wondering about for a very, very long time. And maybe the new war can actually bring answers to that. There's a fat crew working on the ship too. Not on this one. Definitely not on this one. And not with all the things that happened in the quests. Currently I'm busy crafting the Ether Reaper, because I learned that scythes are overpowered right now. And by overpowered I mean literally broken, like they need to be nerfed. I saw Tactical Potato make a video about it and I was like, well, doesn't seem that bad, it seems strong. I mean, it beats a Rubico with a Riven on it, which is significant. Because if you can beat that damage output, then that is actually quite insane. But no, it is way more. They buffed melee weapons way too much, and at the same time, there's still so many melee weapons that aren't good anymore. Like, many of them have been hard nerfed. But scythes are insanely strong. Literally broken. So I'll show you that there's not much on this build. I'm missing 2 mod slots here, right? And all I have is a very high crit chance, thanks to the buff to Sacrificial Steel, which is 225%. Which you times 2 for heavy attacks. And heavy attacks is what we're going to use. And then you just have some crit damage, so crit multiplier is 4.6. So you're just doing really high crit damage with no elemental mods, it's just slash. I would put Buzzkill on here for more slash, but it's not necessary. You don't need more. This is overkill. Hopefully they don't nerf your scythe Zor. They need to. It's literally broken. Corrupted Heavy Gunner. We're spawning them at level 155, and you guys know exactly how tanky that is. It's incredibly tanky. Take that out. Let's put some more in. Max 20. Simulate them all. Heavy Gunners, Corrupted Heavy Gunners, are literally insane damage sponges with the most armor of all time. Now I've got a Max Forma Rubico over here. Sure, I'm missing the Axeless, but that's new. But I've got a Rubico Riven over here with more crit damage and multi-shot, and this Riven has been nerfed 4 times. Probably 5 at this point. But those stats were double. Those stats used to be double. I'm still angry. But it was necessary. I mean, now I just can't one-shot a target 20 times over, I can only one-shot them 10 times over. So, this is an insane build on the Rubico, right? And then there's just this measly half-built hate. So what's gonna be stronger? Alright? Surely the precision sniper rifle. Insanely high DPS. Single target DPS. We're going full zoom, 50% crit chance. We're getting there. We'll kill him eventually. We're nearing halfway. I've lost count of how many shots I've had to shoot into his head, because that's how long it takes to kill them. With one of the strongest Rubico Prime builds you can possibly get. Or, you could just use this measly half-bolt scythe and do one heavy attack and watch them all die. It's not even fully built. I haven't put any forma into this thing. And it just one-shots the highest level of corrupted heavy gunner that I can spawn. And they just die. Balance in all things. And it's a cleaving attack at the same time. Like, all 5 of those guys are gonna die now. Ooh. Okay, these guys tanked it. But they didn't take the whole full blast. But that's one hit. One hit. I don't know what happened to that guy. He was right in front of me and then I deleted him. But yeah, melee is a lot better, but at the same time, it is horribly unbalanced now. So there's no longer a spin to win where you just spin around with an Enderax and kill everything with red crits. No, now you just press one button and kill the most tanky enemies in the game in one shot. No elements, literally just a heavy attack with the scythe. I could probably remove mods, to be honest. I could remove 2 more mods, and I'd still be able to kill the tankiest units in the game. You hope they reduce the Cephalon Psi cost? I think the only annoying resource that he requires is the 5 mutagen mass. But it's not that hard to get through if you just do an invasion or 2. Finally joined the stream? Nice. So, you can use other melee weapons. I believe Gram Prime also works. I've got a stronger build on my Gram Prime. But I'm blind. So it's the same, except I've got Buzzkill over here. I've got 104% crit chance, so more crit chance and way more slash. But it's not as strong. So if I simulate some more, it won't do as well. I mean, it'll still do insanely well. There's no doubt about that. Let me just pull out my melee weapon. Do a heavy attack. And they do die. But all the rest don't. They only take a little bit of damage. So it's the main target that will die. But everything else that you cleave, they won't die. I mean, they'll die here because they get knocked off the cliff. But you'll see these ones aren't dying. Yep, they've upped endgame damage to prepare for harder endgame units. I'm overpowered for this, but what about what comes next? I'm not overpowered for this. I'm literally not. My Rubico should be overpowered for this. This thing's insane. It's endgame. I use it to literally shred Eidolons. I do 5x3s with this thing. but it stands no chance against these corrupted heavy gunners. Now sure, I could switch over to corrosive damage and do a little bit more, but what I was demonstrating was that you can just use a normal scythe. Like, hate was always trash. Hate was literally useless. It wasn't even worth using. It was, like, maybe nice because it looked somewhat cool. But I could remove another mod from here. Let's remove some essential mods. Or, I mean, if I remove reach, that's not really gonna do anything. I guess it's more cleave range, but let's just say I remove 2 of the most important mods. I'm honestly interested what'll happen if I remove 2 of the most important mods. I guarantee you it's still going to outperform my Rubico. Look at that. This thing is so close. Like, a brand new player can have this power at their disposal right now. A brand new player can do this. If they get a scythe, they're sorted. They can just kill anything. It's not okay. So, they need to make more changes to melee, which is now at 2.99999, whatever version it is now. But it is still far away from balance. I would honestly love to see all melee weapons be viable. Some will obviously be stronger than others because of stats, but it can't just be scythes now. If you don't use a scythe, then you're not doing it right. But it's insane that it works this way. And killing blow. There we go. This just adds a lot more damage. It speeds up my heavy attack wind-up speed twice, so it's 120%, and then just more heavy attack damage. And over here is just more crit damage. But it's not even necessary, you still kill the most powerful units in the game. In pause AI? Oh, unpause AI. I'll put invincibility on then, but that won't make a difference. Kill these ones as well. You can see them taking all that damage. And all these guys over here died. It's broken. They're level 155 and they're dying to an unformed scythe. So, nerfs are needed. They're needed. I like the new power of melee weapons, but they should definitely tone it down a bit. Like, a lot. That should do 10 times less damage. Use the Archititron with the new slam buffs. I'm not sure if I even have my Archititron anymore. I may have sold it. Yeah, I did. Just to make space. But yeah, they made a lot of changes to melee weapons, but I'm not going to commit to anything now because things that have been buffed now have been buffed way too much, and then we never know what's going to be good because it's always being changed. So just for now, I'm getting the Ether Reaper because this is also a scythe, and I've always loved the Ether Reaper. The animations on it are amazing, and it just feels so good to kill people with it. And with the new scythe buff, it's actually one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Harder content is needed more than nerfs. That is true. We do need harder content, and that will most likely be coming with the new war, because it's going to be sentient based, and sentients are the hard content. I just hope they tweak the health enough for those sentients. But otherwise, our only truly hard content right now are the orb bosses and the eidolons. It's got a pretty big skill gap. There's a whole learning curve to it, which adds to its difficulty. And the endgame rewards are there, especially for eidolons. Now, apparently, eidolons got nerfed in terms of the rewards that they give. But I still don't know about that. I haven't checked into it. Damn, I've been streaming for an hour. How did I do that? It only feels like 20 minutes have passed. Yeah, there are loads and loads of things to do in the mid-game. That'll keep you busy for 1,000 hours quite easily. But in terms of true challenge, like Halo Legendary difficulty challenge, there's not much of that. And I would love to see some more of that. It is also hard to do that in Warframe because of how the entire game has been designed. But I'm sure the devs can pull it off. Prophet Taker doesn't require much skill, you can tell. You solo her on a daily basis. I do as well. But on the first time trying Prophet Taker with almost any other frame other than a Naros or Chroma, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get smacked. Especially in the old days of Prophet Taker where you got knocked down the whole time. But again, I guess you can't really say that constant knockdown is difficulty. That was just annoyance. But the amount of damage you take from Prophet Taker is still incredibly relevant and you can die quite quickly. So you always need to have your hotkeys or your macros available to be able to heal yourself up, especially if you're using Chroma for a high damage build, so that you can kill Prophet Taker as fast as possible if you want to do under 5-minute runs. And you can die, if you get knocked down once, you could actually die in one go before you even stand up. So the difficulty is there, but it's nowhere near, like, you have to hide behind corners and you're constantly pressed for, like, you die, it's gone, you have to do the whole thing all over again. It's not that kind of difficulty. Look up Archititron Melee 3.0 on YouTube. I'll check it out after the stream. Will do. If you build up to 10 kills, the heavy slam can one-shot heavy units. 10 meter AoE. Sounds good. Die in the game, you die in real life. That is the kind of difficulty we need, actually. That'll actually force players to play a little bit better. I think that's a good idea. You getting out? Alright, cheers Dylan. Hey Roman. You've been behind by 1.5 minutes for an hour? Awesome. Welcome to the future. So, I'll probably be wrapping up the stream now. If you guys have any questions you want to ask, or still want to ask, feel free to ask. Because I don't want this stream to be too long. Because it's kind of like a half stream, half video. It's the conclusion to this entire 7-part streaming marathon I've done now. And I'm really interested to see what Railjack's going to bring, because we've only seen small snippets of it, and a lot of it has been held back. So it's going to be one really big update. Let's skip this song. Be gone. So yeah. Honestly can't wait. And as I said earlier, I'd assume the earliest we can see the Take Flight update, probably about 2 weeks from now. If it comes earlier, that would be amazing. I just don't want them to release it when Halo Reach launches, because I've been hyped for Halo Reach the entire year, and if they just decide, you know what, let's drop Empyrean on the 3rd of December, that's just gonna be horrible. And also on the 3rd, no, not on the 3rd, the 4th, I'm gonna be going to a different city for a while. I'll be flying over there. And I'm currently doing some problem solving so I can see if I can stream there, because I want to get some Warframe content out while I'm there and stream Halo Reach daily, because otherwise I'll just miss the first week of the launch of Halo Reach. And I'll be playing the campaign on Legendary. I'll probably finish that day 1 stream. And then Infection, my favorite mode. I'll literally start by jamming that. And that'll be amazing. Thanks for the stream. Have a great day. You too, man. So yeah. I'm working on a video. It's gonna be regarding the new Arcwing. And I've got a lot of good things to say about it. And because I'm going to be going to sleep pretty soon, I might not get it out today. But I might. You never know. It all depends on how long it takes me to finish it. But if it doesn't come out today, it is coming out tomorrow. So you guys can expect a video for that, either today or tomorrow. And then I've got my Warframe review that I really want to get out this week, because I've had to do way too much work and cut out so much from it. I'd rather get it out as soon as possible before someone else drops a review covering some things I want to talk about. Do I believe DE will revert the heavy CC doubling? It's very possible. I honestly don't think it's necessary, because it's just way too much damage. It shouldn't be able to chunk the health of enemies with that much armor. You just got here? What's going on? The stream is about to end, yeah. You glad you got to see one last one? Awesome. Well, it was the main one. We finally finished our Railjack. And now we wait, because the next part of the update will be coming soon. TM. So yeah. I shall be wrapping up. Thank you all very much for watching, and I might see you later today. Cheers, guys.